guys, welcome back to my channel, and you are watching From Nisha's View, and of course I'm Nisha. If this is your first time here, thank you for tuning in, thank you for watching. And on my channel I talk about fashion and I talk about photography. So today we are on the photography side, so you know what it is. It is Photography Talk with Nisha. Now, what are we talking about today? We're still on this R6 Mark II bliss in newlywedness. Okay, so we're going to be going over just a few things that I noticed the differences between my Mark II and the original R6. So stick around and we're going to get right into it. So you need to go watch my last video because I did an unboxing of the Mark II, and it was just a first look of camera. I was just, unboxing it. So go ahead, go watch that. And then like some months ago, I actually did a comparison of which camera should I get because I was having issues with my with my R6. So I was debating on if I should get a new camera.
And I got it.
So, go ahead, go back and watch those. And I have a playlist of all of my photography things and photography videos, so definitely check that out too. So today we're just gonna look at mainly the surface area, the surface things that I noticed that are different on the Mark II and the R6. So let's get right into it. All right, so right off the bat I can tell that the R6 of course is on this side here. This is the R6 Mark II. And then this is the original, the R6 on this side. This is the R6, this is the R6 Mark II. So right off the bat, I can tell that, I don't know how I put up the dimensions and everything and the weight, but to me, the R2 definitely feels a little bit more heavier to me, just in my opinion, than the regular R6. And here you have the lock dial situation where you're turning it on and off, and then the lock switch is in the center. Here you just have a button. Now normally I don't really mess with the lock. I don't do anything with that, so it really didn't matter to me where it was. But the on and off is definitely different, because here you have the on and off on this side, and on the regular, on the old one, you have it here, and it's, that's a difference. Instead, on this side of the R6, the Mark II, you have your switch from camera mode or stills and your video icon, if you can see that there. That's what that is on this side. So over here, that switch is on this side, so it's not here at all. on your R6, on your regular R6, there is no switching from stills to video. Okay, so that the top of it is pretty much the same, except for those two things there. You have your record button still in the same spot, your MFN button is still there, your shutter release button is still there, and your dial is still there. So it's pretty much the same as far as those two differences. And so then the back of the camera is typical, Canon features. Same thing here. You have your dial and your dial there, your AF on here, and then you can program these buttons to do whatever you want to do with them, however you want to program them. And yeah, your wheel, you have your wheel button, your dial. So pretty much it's pretty much the same thing. Your battery door, same spot. Your SD card, same spot. Same situation. So nothing really, glaring there that's a difference. Okay, so now we're going to get into the menu. There is a little bit difference that I did notice when I was setting this camera up, because I like to be the same. I like change, but I also like to be the same as well. Look there. It needs charging. Hold on a second. What I'm really going to talk about today is that there is a difference in this AF area. This AF area and this in here, AF area on the Mark II, and then on the R6, there is no AF area. It's called AF method. Now, as you can see here, the face, this is the biggest difference that I've seen. And when I was, doing my research and doing my YouTube University, this is what people were talking about, and even Googling it, trying to find out why the face was not on the Mark II. It's not there. So for me, and what I've found was that for since the Mark II does not have this face detection on it, but when you're shooting, and if you have your settings on this whole area tracking, if you have it on whole area tracking servo, if you're in servo, it will pick up the person's face. It will. I know if you're used to the R6 and you come into the Mark II, you're not going to have that face option in your menu. You're not going to see it because it's not there, unless they come up with, they do some revamping or do a update or something like that. But you won't see that face that you see in the R6 in the R2. It is more than likely you're probably going to have to do your whole area AF, which is what I did. And then I change it while I'm shooting. I may change the settings while I'm shooting. But here, this whole area, the whole area servo is where I found that it picks up the person's face and the eye. If I have it on eye tracking, eye detection, if I have it on that, if I have it on, you gotta have it on. Okay. You gotta have it on. So that was a big, why did they get rid of the face? Because at least you knew if you had it on the face, then you knew it was going to pick up the face. But I guess this is the technology behind this is so good that it's going to pick up the person's face anyway. But here, so that was the biggest thing that I noticed with this, with these two cameras, that I was like, oh, okay. But everything else is pretty much the same here. Quick select menu. You have your face here on your regular R6. On the Mark II, you don't have that option for your face here. It's nowhere to be found, right? Because they don't have it anymore. They don't have it anymore. So see here, you have your options down here. And then on the Mark II, you don't. So for me, what I found was that just putting it on AF in area, the whole area, works for me. And I don't know, maybe someone else has a better way of doing it, but I was just noticing that they do not have that face for that face tracking. It will track though. If you have it on AF in the whole area, it will track their face, and then you will see the box pop up on the person's face for their eye and for their whole face as well when you're in that mode, servo. But yeah, that is basically all that I wanted to show. That was like a really glaring thing that I was like, where is the face tracking? Because we're always so, wanting to make sure that everything is in focus and make sure that the person's eye is in focus and just all of that good stuff. So I definitely wanted to share my experience with that. All right. So yeah, that's basically it. That's all I really wanted to share, was those quick little tips or those quick little things that I noticed that was right off the bat, you know, looking at it and looking at these two cameras and looking at the differences and really trying to set up the Mark II, you know, to be identical to the R6. And of course, there were some differences. And that one thing, the face tracking and having that little icon there really threw me off. And I was like, what is going on? What? But it all worked out in the end. And if you have the Mark II, please let me know if you find another way to get that autofocus, you know, spot on, or to get, you know, the face tracking, to get that face tracking right. And I found it that how I explained it with the AF, the area AF, I found that works, being that I've used it one time. I've had a photo shoot recently and it was people. I had a photo shoot and it did work. So, and it tracked her face really good. So yeah, that was a really big difference. And that was one that I really wanted to share my experience with the camera with. So yeah, that's it. That is all I want to share for right now, and my experience with this camera. And as time goes on, I will definitely, you know, give my updates on it and
Tell you how I like it, if I like it. I mean, I haven't had any issues with it yet, so we'll see.
definitely, you know, give you an update on that. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I love the dialogue. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about this camera. Let's talk about other cameras, other things that Canon's got going on. The new camera, the R5 Mark II. Out of my budget, baby. I can't do it. I can't do it. But so,
I can't do it.
so yeah. Definitely, what was I saying? Oh, comment, like, subscribe if you're watching. Subscribe, hit the subscribe button. I give good information. And until next time, I'll talk to you then. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching my GG channel. Period.